Welcome to your Daily 5 for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. You may have seen some reporting on internet consternation over some terms in a program. I didn't even know this existed, but I wasn't really surprised when I found out about it. A program that Google maintains called Team Pixel. And after their most recent unveiling, or their official unveiling of the Pixel 9 phone, there were agreements that were sent out for review devices to reviewers and influencers, and there's probably some other agreements for other types of people who get these phones, but these are the ones that are basically covered within this story. And influencers, God, I have such a hard time saying that word, influencers and reviewers often function in different ways. Reviewers are generally expected and often do try to do objective reviews of products. Now, they can get review units from companies, but they often have to send them back after some period of time, or they buy them themselves and then either keep them or review them saying, hey, this was not given to me. I bought this on my own accord and I'm reviewing it without any input. Now, you could do it both ways. I've talked about Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile, who I think does great tech reviews, and he's bought his own stuff. And he has received units, but he is very specific in his ethics on reviewing, that no company can approve anything he's putting out. They see it the same time everybody else does. And if they're not happy with that, well, then he's not going to take their review units. He'll purchase them himself. But he also points out when they fly him anywhere and that these things do not influence his reviews, or at least do not in any major way. And that's all you could really expect. Whereas many influencers don't exactly hide the fact that they're shilling for a product. And I actually do not think there's anything wrong with that. As long as people understand what's going on, then who cares? If you are a fan of somebody to the extent that if they say buy this thing, you're going to buy that thing, as long as you're clear on that relationship, as long as they're clear that that's what's going on, they're not maintaining any type of objective ethical facade, then there's nothing wrong with this. So I really don't, outside of the fact that there was some apparently, and I'm not on Threads, so I didn't see where this all really generated, but based on, I've seen a couple of different articles. I'm going to link to the Engadget one here. But initially there seemed to be some mixing up on whether these terms applied to everybody or just the influencers. Now, since Google has removed some of this language and they've clarified that this was always for the Team Pixel program, but outside of that confusion on who was getting these things, I don't really see anything wrong with this, I have to be honest. Because again, I'm not going to say there aren't any influencers who aren't ethical. I have not seen every single influencer in every single video they've ever made. But when I have dipped into seeing some of this stuff, it has always come off as promotional material, essentially an external marketing arm for whatever product or company was supplying the devices or products that these people were using. That's just, it is almost built into the idea of what an influencer is. An influencer doesn't just sit there to say things that people agree with. The influence part is that they are expecting to be able to get people to do something that they want them to do. Otherwise, what is the influence? And of course, companies would sit there and go, well, if we can get people to buy or subscribe or whatever to our products by utilizing this person's command of an audience, why wouldn't we? It does, in many ways, just make business sense. Now, that's not me advocating for it. I'm just looking at the reality of what it is. So, yes, the confusion part, where some reviewers thought that they were getting this as some kind of new term, where in the past they were expected to do an objective review and they would get the product and return it in some way, there was a necessary clarification that needed to happen there. But I think that happened pretty quickly. But the rest of this, where people are somehow upset that Google wouldn't want to just furnish free products to people who are in the marketing business, and that is, again, what an influencer is, in almost every case, I'm not going to say every case, but many of them, I'm sorry, but I don't see what's so unreasonable about this arrangement. That's why I don't really watch a lot of influencer stuff, because I can't trust it based on what I've seen before. If I want to see what somebody thinks of something, I will find a reviewer whose background in ethics I actually believe in and think are well documented. Again, see Michael Fisher and others. And those are the people whose opinions I will actually value. If I'm going to go, it's like this thing with Kim Kardashian making headphones. My wife sent me this thing and said, why is she making headphones? And I said, she's not. She's just selling a product to people who really just like her so much that because her name is on a set of headphones, that's enough for them. That's what an influencer is. So again, this doesn't surprise me, and I don't know why people are so upset. Guess what? This is what influencing is 9 times out of 10. So do I blame Google for doing what exactly you would think they would do through these people? No, I don't. And I don't know why anybody else is either. Later.